So before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge and express my gratitude for being able to do this work on the unceded traditional and ancestral lands of the Kwantlen, Musqueam, Katsi, Semiahmoo, Tsawwassen, Kakite, and Coquitlam peoples. My name is Jshandeep Jassal. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the second daughter of Harvinder Kaur Jassal and Tejinder Pal Singh Jassal. And I am one of the co-founders of SAW Network. SAW Network stands for South Asian Healing Network, but it also means breathe in Punjabi. The naming of our organization is an ode to the impact we want to have. And yeah, everyone deserves to have a space where they can just breathe. So we aim to create that space where healing can be made possible for South Asian youth. So this is my lovely team. Before we get into our stories, I'd like everyone to take a saw. So that means take a breath. So myself and another one of my co-founders, another co-founder of SAW, Serene, you can see a picture of us there when we were younger. We've been friends since kindergarten. Growing up as Punjabi Sikh girls, we were really aware and bothered by issues we saw in our cultural community, which included things like alcoholism, family dysfunction, and a failure to recognize mental health. It's really normalized to not talk about these problems in our culture, and that's something Serene and I really couldn't relate to. We were outspoken and we always chose to speak up rather than hold things in. And very recently, our need for community healing led us to begin a search for a support group that would provide space for our personal healing, but also to address our cultural need for making sense of the substance use problem that we were seeing in our community. And nothing out there really addressed what we needed. So we saw this as an opportunity, and our support for each other, we realized, was a lifeline, and it was something that other South Asian youth like ourselves might not have. So it was the idea of supporting our community in the ways that we support each other that really brought SAW alive. And here you can see my lovely team. So we have Aaron, Tyson, and Amy, who also come from similar backgrounds. And Amy actually is also in this CCB program, and we were able to capture her and bring her onto this project, which I'm very excited about. So let's move on to talking about what SAW Network is. So for too long, we feel that family dysfunction, problematic alcoholism or substance use, and mental health have been overlooked in our community. But especially we feel like not only in the South Asian community, especially in the Punjabi community. And what we want to do at SAW Network is to normalize that healing process from these issues. We realize that lots of the issues faced by the Punjabi community stem from intergenerational trauma, which is linked to the treatment of our people in India, namely the 1984 Sikh genocide, or even the unfair Indian farmers' bills and the ongoing protests. So these issues have disproportionately strained and harmed the Punjabi Sikh community. And we believe that having this physical space, this physical community healing space, would really help to make connections and also engage people in discourse about these issues and also in the process of healing. We recognize that many minoritized groups from South Asia have similar experiences, so that's why we named ourselves the South Asian Healing Network. We are open and we want to extend this space to people, not only people who are from Punjabi Sikh backgrounds, but also other South Asian minoritized groups who relate to these problems. So who is SAW Network for? The primary focus of SAW is healing, mental health, and wellness for South Asian youth. We want to confront the issues mentioned so far, but our topics will range, and we aim to cooperatively decide among the youth members who join the peer support network what we'll be talking about and what types of activities we'll engage in. So how do we plan to do this? We plan to do this first by getting some training. So we're getting trained on things like organizational leadership, mental health first aid, and trauma-informed practice. We are basically equipping ourselves with skills needed to be qualified peer support workers. And we're getting training from people who are professionals in these fields, like, for example, in the field of counseling or in the field of substance use intervention, or in the nonprofit field. But we feel that the most important thing is that we have lived experience, and that's what makes SAW special. We are creating this space for us, and it is made by us, and that's the special part. Our major goal is to lead the peer support meetings, but we also plan to host social events and activities to promote an overall goal, which is building a community, which again is like something that we did with this class, and Amy and I were able to witness and be part of that process. So we hope to carry those lessons on. One important thing is, now that you know about SAW Network, I'd like to tell you that we are also operating under another nonprofit who is called Solid State Community Industries. I'm also co-director at Solid State. Solid State Community Industries is a nonprofit in Surrey that provides youth like us the support that we need in order to build cooperative enterprises around our interests. Being part of Solid State means we operate as a cooperative, which includes all of the listed decision-making and organizing features. But the most important part is that we're part of a community at Solid State. So now that I've talked about what we are, I'd like to talk about what we need. So we have some specific requests. Maybe we need you. We are really open to having some guidance, collaboration, or getting anyone who wants to be involved with this project. So if you are involved, we'd love to hear from you. I'll put our contact information on the next slide. We're also looking for South Asian youth who are interested in these programs, and you can sign up using the Google form that's in our Instagram bio. And I believe it's going to come in the chat as well. So our Instagram is @SAW Network. And then another thing is we would love funding. We need a lot of training, and some of that training is expensive. Right now we're in the process of getting that training, but in the future, we also do want to be able to pay peer support workers who work under SAW for their precious time and involvement in this project. And to support us in a monetary way, you can donate to Solid State by going to the website, which is solidstate.coop. You can specifically mention SAW when you donate if you'd like to contribute to our project. But that said, all the Solid State projects are meaningful. And if you choose to donate to the broader mission of Solid State or to one of our sister cohorts, we would be happy for you to do that as well. And here's some contact information. There's our Instagram, which is @SAW Network. We'd love if you would follow us. And then our email, info.sawnetwork@gmail.com. And my name is right there in case you need that. And we would love to hear from you about anything, whether it's a question, a concern, an inquiry, or a curiosity, anything. I hope you enjoyed learning about the SAW Network. That's all I have for you today.